Welcome to Pinnacle Corrugated. We're going to give you a brief overview of the doorbuster equipment. The reason we bought the doorbuster was we did an interview with several of our employees that perform the function of opening up the rail car doors. A lot of the employees expressed some concern about back injuries and shoulder injuries, and they had spent upwards of 30 to 45 minutes opening some of these doors, as a lot of these rail cars are pretty old. What we've done here is we've designated a parking spot for the doorbuster. The doorbuster actually has a 110 hookup, so you need to make sure that you're by an outlet, of course, so that way when the operator's done with the equipment, he can come back and plug it back in. That way it stays charged at all times. We're going to go ahead and start with the instruction piece of this. So the operator's going to get on equipment, obviously put his seatbelt on, and start the vehicle. The first thing the driver is going to do is designate which car needs to be offloaded and go ahead and square up on the door. So there's a door handle about midway on the door, and he's going to square the system up on that door. Once he gets here, he's trying to line the doorbuster portion that actually turns the handle up with the doorbuster. So currently he's going to go ahead and extend what's called the power arm. And then the vehicle's turned on at this point. He's going to go ahead and get back on the vehicle. And then move closer to the handle itself. And there's two controls on the remote. So he's going to be turning it counterclockwise, which is going to open the door. That power arm there is spring loaded. So as he's opening the door and the door is coming out, it compensates for that. The door's open, the driver's going to go ahead and back up. He's putting the power arm back in its original configuration, and then he's going to park the vehicle down here on the right hand side of the car. All right, so at this time, this operates off a winch system. So there's a winch on the right and a winch on the left. He's going to take the winch that's on the right and locate an anchor point on the next car down. You don't want to attach this winch to a ladder that's on the car, because it will rip off the ladder if it comes down to it. So you find a good point, and he's got one down there. Go ahead and hook it up there, and then you want to make the rope taut so that it's not touching any metal and it's not going to rub up against the metal, which it looks pretty good right there. The left side winch, let that go out, and then come down and attach that to the door that he wants to open. All right, he's going to make it taut now. And then at this time, he's going to get back inside the vehicle. The reason for that is, in the past, there have been doors that have actually fell. And this is for the safety of the driver. He gets back in the forklift or stands behind the forklift and then just pushes the button on the remote and it opens the door.
How you doing? I'm Joshua Adcock. I've been with Pinnacle for 8.5 years. So I am actually very happy with the decision to purchase the doorbuster. I have been on and off doing roll stock for a few years, helping out, and there's been times where it's quite a strain on the shoulders and the back trying to get these doors open to have the the screw handles on them, and this has made the job so much easier. You don't have to worry about hurting yourself. I believe this device is going to help prevent injuries and possible injuries in the future. You won't have to have prolonged periods next to the edge. You're only going to be there long enough to hook on the winch hooks. A lot of times there's pent up tension on the doors from when they're being shut, and a lot of times they will pop out unexpectedly because they're binding on themselves. So I think going forward, this device is going to prevent that from happening. If there are any other corrugators out there that do not currently have this device, I would strongly suggest getting it. It is very simple to use, it's easy to train people on it, and it really does cut down on the risk factor involved in opening up these rail doors when doing the roll stock operations at a corrugator.
Right. It was very important that we purchased a separate forklift just for this system. So this forklift is married to this system. This forklift does nothing else. The only purpose of the forklift is the doorbuster, and that's it.
Delando Clowney. Been at Pinnacle 18 years. The doorbuster is a nice piece of equipment. It helps us out a lot because we don't have to wind the doors by hand like we used to. So I love it myself. Most likely, without the doorbuster, we done it by hand, but some of us the short guys have a risk of slipping off and falling off the dock.
So the operator can sit inside the forklift with the protection of the mast and the outer carriage and open a rail car door without any worry of hurting their shoulder or their back.
Name is Jared Boggs. I'm the process manager here at Pinnacle. I've been here a little over 2 years. Yeah, so the doorbuster it is overall a lot more helpful, safer rather. I feel like it does keep anyone out of harm's way as far as if the door were to shift off. That's definitely the purpose of it, but I would absolutely recommend the doorbuster. Safety, right? Safety is #1 priority everywhere. Everybody wants to come, go home the way they came to work. So with that alone, this thing is well worth it. These rail cars aren't getting any younger. They're going to stay in the shape that they are. They continue to use them in this shape. So we have to protect ourselves from, anything that could happen.
Everybody that I've trained on it is very happy that the company went out and bought the forklift and bought the system. Everybody I've talked to has been very happy with it. There are some safety precautions, of course. It's got a rotating power arm, and it's a one-man operation. So that really shouldn't be an issue because the system itself is controlled by a remote control that the operator has in his hand. So he's controlling what's turning, or he's controlling the winch system at all times.
My name is Daniel Absher. Been here almost 18 years. It makes opening these rail cars a whole lot easier, less stress on your back. As far as safety, like I said, it's when we had to turn those handles by hand, we had some of them that would want to kick back, and I almost had one kick back and hit me one time, but with this right here, that puts me out of the way of that happening.